Welcome back. I said it at the top of the show. We were going to talk as far as the health of Lucas County is concerned, and coming in 68th out of 88 counties here in the state of Ohio recently on a survey as far as some of the unhealthiest counties in the Buckeye States. And we're glad to have Nathan Drendel with us from ProMedica, a dietitian, joining us here on the Roundtable this afternoon. You guys look at this report, and Lucas County went 1 year to 1 year, moving up 4 spots. Now, the positive, the silver lining playbook of this is to say, yeah, we're moving up 4 spots, we're getting better, but 68th? What is ProMedica's read on this?
Well, you know, we're looking at it from 2 different standpoints, because we have the obesity epidemic, and then we have the other end of the spectrum with the food insecurity. Mm-hmm. And at ProMedica, we're trying to tackle both of those issues. We want to make sure we address the obesity epidemic, but then also we have to help educate individuals about what food insecurity is, because a lot of times we hear more about obesity rather than the food insecurity. And food insecurity within Lucas County is a major issue. You know, the national average is 1 out of 6 families face food insecurity. But in
talk about that a little bit. What are we describing when we say people have food insecurity?
And what food insecurity is a household that does not have the financial or the resources to provide enough nutrition, basically, on a daily basis to their family.
Okay. And we were showing people at home, I want to show people at home a map that kind of breaks this down as far as where the counties lie. And you see the lighter counties, not as much of a problem. But when you get into those darker areas and, you know, Ohio, northwest Ohio, parts of the central part of the state, and even down into Scioto County along the Ohio River, we're looking at those colors getting a little bit darker. So you like to think the more populated areas would have a better chance of doing better, but that's not necessarily the case.
Right. You know, when you look at that map, Chicago's a lighter color and Chicago's huge. But you know, that brings up what we really have to focus on is educating the people and having people with maybe more means or whatnot, helping educate and give out for people that have this insecurity.
Okay.
And at ProMedica, we're tossing around ideas. We're trying to locate families that are patients that might be facing with food insecurity, and then also set up kind of an emergency, when they get discharged from the hospital, an emergency food giving to them, so they have a 1 or 2 day supply of good nourishing food that will help provide at least some nourishment.
You and I were talking before we came out, we were saying Michael Bloomberg came out, the mayor of New York City came out a couple of months ago and said, no more big drinks here in the city of New York, the Big Apple. And you said he was kind of preaching to the choir as far as what ProMedica sees. You thought, good idea. A lot of people said, freedom's being taken away. This is not fair. This is our life. We're having our life of limits right now. You see it that way?
I see it as ProMedica taking a proactive approach to help show people, you know, sugar-sweetened beverages, whether it be pop or sweetened coffee drinks or whatnot, they provide very, very minimal nourishment.
Talk about what ProMedica did back in February.
Okay, in February we stopped selling all sugar-sweetened beverages, whether it be Coke, you know, sugar, coffees or whatnot. People can bring them into our facilities, but we will not, if you go to a vending machine or our cafeterias, we will not have any of them there.
We did a report a couple of weeks ago. The American Heart Association came out and blamed sugar-sweetened sodas, sports drinks, and fruit drinks for excess body weight, for one. The authors of the study also said it contributes to thousands of diabetes deaths, death from heart disease, and also death from cancer. Is that extreme, or, I mean, are there hard facts to back all that stuff up?
With any nutrition study, it's very interesting because it's tough to pinpoint.
I gave up pop for Lent, so for the last 40 days I've been making myself healthier, right?
Yes, you've been doing
But
that.
I add sugar to my coffee. Bad move.
Well, if it's a 1 packet, you're doing okay. You know, when we have those issues with the diabetes, the heart disease, and the cancer, those are getting pretty solid science behind. And that's why we as a system took it upon ourselves to say, you know what, we need to help put forth a proactive approach to tackle this issue.
From what you were talking about with the food insecurity thing, obviously it kind of pegs on the economy and where things have been. So many times, and I complain about it week after week, I feel like the economy is the crutch that everybody uses, but you are saying, and ProMedica believes, that definitely when people go and seek fast food, it's because it is less expensive. It is able to feed a group of 4 for less money, a group of 5, what have you, a group of 1, who cares? But either way, the economy is forcing people into this unhealthy lifestyle, yes?
Yeah, it is a big, big factor. And one of the approaches we're doing is I actually go in grocery stores and give grocery shopping tours to families, to individuals, to help kind of steer them through the grocery store to pick out some of the better things that are actually within reason in terms of their financial means.
Because and this is a misnomer sometimes I know as well. People think healthier food, more expensive.
Right.
And it's not always that way, you're saying.
Right. You know, and that's what I always try to stress to people. If you plan, you can eat healthy for a pretty good amount. The issue is we don't like to plan. Then we hit the fast food joints, or we
Right.
make the processed food at home or whatnot.
Let's get down to the brass tacks. What is it going to take for, and there are counties, I want to mention at home, obviously, there are counties that did well in Northwest Ohio, around Northwest Ohio, that did well on this list. I think Putnam County did well, Wood County did well, Hancock County not too shabby on that list. They weren't down near the bottom tier as Lucas County was. What is it going to take for Lucas County to do better eating?
Education.
Okay.
And we as ProMedica and as a community just need to step up and try to educate, get the word out. We have multiple issues. We have in our cafeterias, we're having healthier foods. We're being a very proactive approach in terms of, going out in the grocery stores and educating and whatnot. It's all education based, because a lot of times we do play the blame game, which isn't the best route to say, oh, it's the fast food or it's the soda companies or whatnot, because it's everything intertwined.
It's interesting because you look at some of the larger companies in the city of Toledo and around Northwest Ohio, and some of these companies and its employees are lucky enough to have commissaries right there on the grounds, where these companies are talking about wanting to limit the cost of health insurance by having their employees eat healthier. So what better way to do that than to keep them on the grounds and supply the food for which they think is better for them. Now, that may be a big brother kind of stance on how to do things, but not everybody is that lucky. They work at a place where they have to leave work, they have to go down the street, and looky there, the Golden Arches are really close, or Tim Hortons is right there. Not to pick on any one company or whatnot, but I'm just saying, ease, simplicity, how quick, that is the mindset these days.
Right. And that's as a nation, we have to get away from. We're in such a rushed setting, and we just like very easy ways. And you do have to kind of applaud some of those companies, McDonald's or whatnot. They do have some better choices.
And they're posting calories now.
Right. And again, that boils down to the education piece, because if people see 300 calories and not know that they need 800 calories a day, that number really doesn't work for them. So if we can provide a decent amount of education, the food companies are doing it. Obviously they're a business, so they have to still make profit. But we as a community just have to step up, get the word out, and just focus on helping steer people toward the things. And that's why some of the initiatives within ProMedica, we've not wanted to take the big brother approach, but kind of steer.
So we're not going to have billboards out there in the city of Toledo, Northwest Ohio, sponsored by ProMedica, telling people that today this is how many calories you're supposed to eat.
This is what you got to eat today. No,
but is that the answer?
Well,
maybe a Facebook page. Everybody can check in and say, "Oh, I'm only supposed to have 600 calories today."
We do. If people want to contact me, and we have this, I go to a lot of our corporate organizations and talk and break this down, because a lot of people don't know. And we boil it down to what you need and what we should be eating, where the discrepancies are in people's diets and whatnot. So go to ProMedica's Wellness Facebook page, shoot me a question. You can find me on Facebook or whatnot. I'm more than open to doing that. I love trying to get stumped and whatnot.
Thank goodness for social media these days.
Exactly. So it's something we're trying to step up, but it can't just be one organization. We all have to work together, and I'm sure we'll will do it. It's a very big hurdle.
Nathan, I know we've had some moments that are tongue-in-cheek, but obviously very important issue that we needed to address, getting Lucas County healthy again. We appreciate you spending some time.
Great being here.
Stay right there. We'll have our final segment right after this.